Hi there, Pixopedia 2014 version 050 news. Here are the news regarding CML brush that was introduced in version 040. There are two new coupling modes, semi-coupled simple and semi-coupled NZN, non-zero neighbor. The main difference between full coupling and semi-coupling is that in semi-coupled mode the pixels affected by destruction rule will not be coupled. Those are pixels that are decaying, actually dying, while all other pixels that go through creation process or grow process will be coupled as in normal full coupling mode. I will not do any examples here. You can try by yourself and experiment a bit. Another addition, I will use this image, is this ad hoc adaptive convolution filter that was available only through contour assistant image. Now it can be also applied using mask image. We can create auto mask, apply filter, various filters. Now we will call ad hoc adaptive convolution. Now this time, instead of contour, the mask assistant image is used as an origin for convolution kernel. Okay, we will apply here. We can play with parameters, and that's this newest addition. Also, we have I have introduced here a new standard shape mode. It's called here curved text. Just click on the standard shape, position your mouse over the canvas, right click on your mouse, click on your right mouse button and select curved text. Cursor will change its shape to indicate that we are drawing with curved text. Curved text is controlled here in standard text tool. You see here is an addition regarding new shape. Here is a fixed size shape. I wrote here lorem ipsum words and two blanks. Additionally, it's always good to add a blank at the end because of character rotation at the end of line. So if we use fixed font size and draw a line, text will be rendered, characters will be rendered, and angle of characters will be adjusted according to curvature of our drawn line. Shorter the line, text will be squeezed here, even overlapped if a line is short. Longer the line, I will increase a bit font. Longer the line, the text will be stretched. Okay, we can use also close curve and a spline curve. So if we draw something like this, it will be smoothed and then the text will be rendered. This is a fixed size option. Adjust font size option. Another parameter appears here. It controls behavior of font size adjustment. It can be controlled by user. The shorter the line, the smaller the size of text. So text font size is adjusted according to curve length. See here. If we draw from right to left, text is flipped. It simply follows the curvature we draw. Okay, we can use any additional bumping as with normal strokes. We can apply this shape through all actions where the standard shapes are available, and so on. Of course, we can now we have a repeat fixed option, which actually doesn't it uses fixed font size, but it doesn't stretch nor squeeze text. It repeats given text. Put fish words here, so this fish is words is repeated depending how much times it depends how much time it will be repeated depends on the length of our curve here. And now I will draw a fish. I will use now smaller font, draw a smiley face. Here. And put some eye here. So this is about curved text. It's still in developing phase, but it works more or less correctly. Okay, that's about a curved text, a newest addition in standard shapes. Now here is, you may notice, here is a new button called Macro Recorder. It's actually hooked to Windows Journaling. It's not too much reliable option, but we have what we have. It actually records all your mouse movements, keystrokes, and it can be saved initially in temp file with temp file name, but it can be saved. You can save your macro in any file name you choose, and you recall, load macro, and play it again. You must take care when recording macro, and I will explain you while macro is playing. Here I will, as I am using Roman Shalenkin's beautiful photographies from Roman Shalenkin, a Russian photographer. Now I will load macro. I will close down everything, and now Control Shift P. The macro is playing. You see it by the indicator is changed. This glyph on this button has changed to rectangular, indicating that macro is playing. You can see I'm not using spinner buttons. I'm entering actually parameter using numbers by keystrokes, because when you replay macro, if spinner buttons was used, it will increase again and again the value, the parameter. So you use it very carefully, this macro recorder. As you can see now, the glyph has changed to empty circle. While you record macro, it will be a full filled circle, and while playing macro, it's triangle glyph here. Now I will repeat it again. Control Shift P. Macro is playing. I'm not moving mouse. It's recorded macro. You must take care that recording a macro depends on monitor resolution, and you cannot use the same macro, save it and transport it to port it to another computer with different screen resolution as the mouse position of those buttons are not the same. Okay, now I will use for these two other photographies fast playback. Okay, I to check it, and now use Ctrl+Shift+P, and it will play macro in fast mode. Here is a surgeon, Ctrl+Shift+P, and we have created some artistic effect from photographies. Okay. Now what we have here, I will use this, is sorry, another addition is in selection options. Here is when you use selection tool, you right click on your mouse button, and there is a paste into option. Not too much to see. Oh, sorry. Now click copy to clipboard and paste into images, resize to fit into bounding rectangle, and this resizing filter is controlled here in selection tool, fast linear, and you can also blend this. Sorry, I will undo this. Still in clipboard, multiply and paste into, and it will be multiplied. Mostly used, can be used, it has a sense to use it with rectangular selections. Okay. I will clear those selection. As you can see, there are another additions. Is a save selection to memory, and not the content on the selection, but this marching ant selection is saved. Position points of this polygon are saved in memory, and this saved selection can be recalled using load selection from memory. There is another addition I'll have to explain in another video. It's stroke around selection that actually draws a stroke around selection. I will show how to use this in a separate video on the tips and tricks. What's left to show is that now that's color statistical correction. You can see that this is modified. In previous version, every time you switch between images, data are every time the data is fetched again and again between images, and it can degrade performance. Now you have to collect data manually from this. Of course, there is addition that you can use selection. We can use selection here, not statistical data from whole image, but only from selection, because here is also selection enabled. When we collect data, now we have data from this image is collected from full image, and from this image only through selection. Now we can apply color correction using collected data. Okay, that's the last modification, and the last addition. Yes, of course, you may notice that this slice and dice and many more action is now obsolete because of a new mode. Only that's left is I have changed this to marker mode. You can use marker as in previous version with slice and dice and many more, but now I have introduced here in this version a new completely new image mode that can do much more in more user-friendly way. Okay, I will not explain too much. Those markers, kite and rectangle, I'm working on, and they are disabled. I will clear this marker. Okay, I return to this beautiful photo. I will clear selection and show you a new master-slave mode. When you position your mouse over image tab, when you click, you have standard mode, layers mode that was previously available, and master-slave mode. Now when you click on master-slave mode, this image is master, this one is slave. We can work things that used to work in slice and dice, and many more. Action through layers. This is a special layer mode. I will put feather radius here to 20 to show you just a simple thing that you can do through this master slave mode. Okay, I will use another beautiful image, this young lady, photography by Roman Shalenkin. Extraordinary pictures. Okay, I will use a selection tool, freehand, here, and select the part of the face. Here on this button, copy selected region to new slave layer. Here a new layer is copied. Now we can right click here, you have an options what you can do with this layer. Now we will use resize or move. We can move and resize option. If we press Alt key, aspect ratio is maintained. Now I will not use aspect ratio. I will do some maybe a little bit rotation, not too much. And here is correct layer colors using slave image color data. It's actually a statistical color correction using data under mask of this layer, using background image and foreground layer to adjust layer color to background color image. So we have now here we have stamp. We have also here settings, explore by yourself. It has huge possibilities. Now we will fix merge all layers. There can be more layers. We will merge all layers onto the background image. So we see that transition of faces using this feather radius was done in a seamless manner. We can clear this selection, we can exchange content and save this image to use this image now as master image. We can put another slave image here and save this image to disk. And as I can see, that's all finally. Thank you. Bye bye.